Hi Cancer, welcome to your quantum reading. This is for Cancer Sun Moon Rising. Welcome to my cross watchers. Cross watcher, you could be dealing with a Cancer. The message could be for you. Take it however it resonates. Keep in mind these are general and timeless readings. If you guys are wanting to check out any of my services, located down below in the description box, there's my website link and what was the other thing? My Instagram. You guys can follow me over there if you want to. I just post more stuff on crazy stuff that I play around with over there, quantum physics wise. Thanks so much, everyone, for liking, subscribing. Thanks for all the ways you have supported the channel. Let's dive in. Okay. We've got some kind of energy undergoing some momentum. Something is gaining momentum. You have Pyrite. Oh, Mars. Oh, dang. Okay. I actually looked up the recent... I didn't see anything going on with Mars. I saw a lot of squares going on between like Mercury and Pisces and stuff like that. But we have Pyrite with, there's the momentum. See these pillars? And that's Mars. And then we have the moon, which technically rules over Cancer. And so that is kind of your card. And you've got a transition coming in with Calcite. Okay. So pretty cards. Okay. So. With it being Mars, I would dare to venture to say that this is more action oriented. Probably a lot of fire, whether that's a positive thing or a negative thing, and maybe it's even a little bit of both. Sometimes Mars will get you moving with heat or with possibly conflict, because it can be a little bit more aggression, passion, competition. It's sports and like recreation. So that could be something that's getting you moving in a particular direction. Possibly some type of competitiveness. But you're going through a transformation. Watch what happens. Especially for those of you, if you're dealing at all with Pluto or Mars, good luck. Because it'll just like, it's just this thing that burns within inside of you and you just feel like you don't have control over it, but it's getting you moving in a particular direction. That's what it does. Okay, so you've got Spider with connection and shadow. Okay. I feel like this could be talking about web, like a literal, either a networking or you've just got some kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what to think of the spider, to be honest. It can be getting caught in a web, like, I'll dive into the details of it in a little bit, okay? You've got the horse, which is kind of like you in the chariot. So we've got journey and ambition. So you might be feeling very ambitious at this time. Maybe there is this competition that's driving you. And then you have salmon with resilience and life cycle. Okay. How appropriate. So, some type of momentum has been gaining in this situation. And I think that if you were struggling to move against some kind of current, there's been an energy that's gathered a lot of momentum. And for you to move past it internally is requiring like a lot of effort. Like sometimes this can be for a long time when you've been more fear-based, and then all of a sudden there's a transition coming up for you and you have to like kind of go against your own momentum of energy. That's why it seems so like you have to have resilience, because you're literally like the salmon swims upstream to spawn. I always say that with the salmon. And so for you to get some type of goal or to get your transformation underway, it might require this journey, or you would disconnect from some kind of web of energy that you had been caught in. This feels sticky. Like the spider, like there could be some kind of situation that feels kind of like you feel stuck to it in some way, and it's probably because of certain emotions that are coming up for you. And maybe that's making you feel out of control. So it could be a little bit out of balance, or you know, it's out of alignment, I would say for sure. But if this is the way that you're moving up, like when you're moving up the vibrational scale of emotions, if you're coming out of fear, shame, or guilt, then the next natural phase of evolution of your emotions would be into anger, which is movement. So it gets you going. And you have the Six of Wands. So this is like trying to get attention or receiving a lot of attention for a skill or ability. Oh, but it's, see what I said? So there's some pain here. See, that's why I was saying there's a motivation. And this is more from the past. So we've got the Six of Pentacles, Holy. This is so many cards. I'm going to reshuffle. I'm just going to take that top one. I know sometimes I don't do anything that makes sense, but that's just what I'm going to do for right now. Let's see what cards want to come out. Okay, that was one of them. So the King of Cups. That could be you, Cancer, or you're dealing with another water sign. A Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio. This person is very emotionally, see all the water in the background? So it's like emotionally they're come on, Joss. Emotions are fluctuating quite a bit. They might even feel a little bit tumultuous. Eight of Swords. See what I said? There's the stickiness or whatever you want to call it. We have the Ace of Wands. This is action. Like, boom, there was the fire that came on. This could be a new passion. Here's the only thing that I would caution about. Because you have this Page of Pentacles. See, there's something new formulating. This could have been a new idea. And here's my only thing though, because this is like from place of pain. And I would say any foundations that are built, if this is still in the frequency, it might be an unstable foundation. And that could cause a tower moment later, because like if something isn't built off of love, then it can be rocky, especially if this is some kind of triangulation or a third party situation. If that's what's encouraging, it's not to say that the fuel is bad. Like if this is some kind of fuel that's driving you to come out of this energy, that's always very good. It's getting you unstuck. I would just say like moving with the vibration and coming up out in like coming up into love, peace, joy, enlightenment, that's going to be a better process to get something to really, and that's why I think maybe will happen here with this Ace of Wands. You'll move through this spark of energy, and then Page of Pentacles might be something calms down or it stabilizes, but right here it's like a flood of emotions. Because this can be overthinking. This is bravery, courage. So that's the Strength card. That's also Leo energy right there. See, we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. I'm going to get into this a little bit. Yeah, and there's the Two of Wands. Okay, this is a fascinating energy. Okay. Page of Swords. So there's a lot of spying going on. Page of Swords is always like the checking things out, trying to gather more information and trying to make informed decisions based off of this. So this is what I think is taking place, which is why I wanted to mention Mars and possibly Pluto. Okay, when it comes to Pluto energy, which I know is not really in here, but I only am bringing it up because Spider, because that can be power dynamics. And then Mars. Okay, when there's a combination of the two, which can be a power struggle or any type of like dominance, what will happen is, okay, in astrocartography, there's Pluto energy, and the definition of it is when you do anything with Plutonic energy, it will it will feel like you are literally falling apart at the seams. Like energetically, there's a lot of crazy things that happen when it comes to Pluto. Like you can have all these memories of exes come up. It's like cellularly, there's there's an activation that chemically takes place when you're either involved with possibly a Scorpio. You don't have to be, but especially if you're dealing with Pluto in any way, like whether you're in a Pluto location or something like that, you will dissolve. Like a part of it, you literally just feel like you'll be highly psychic and intuitive on one hand. So dreams would be very potent, but you can, since you're going through a little bit of a dissolving cellularly, like literally happens chemically, because this is what geographical locations can ignite within you. So it can bring up a lot to the surface, and I feel like that is what is involved here. I would only say that because you've got the water sign, right? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but you're a Cancer, of course. And then you've got this Three of Swords, which is like pain, like fragmented parts of yourself that are trying to come back together, which can mean if you were empathing too much, Cancer, if you didn't have proper boundaries in the past, which is kind of giving me an inclination of that with the Page of Swords and the Three of Swords, that means that you could have picked up on something. You could have gave your empathy to someone else, they got healed, and you had like some kind of transfer take place, so you took on some of their pain aspects because of how much you gave them your compassion and empathy. And then you can feel like there's this fragment, or like there's a piece of you missing because you gave so much of yourself in some capacity. So that's why there's this flood of emotions, because there's something about the thought processes that are keeping you entwined or entangled in a particular energy. Because this is a person that feels stuck, but it's just mentally, and you're not. And this is when you finally break free. And I think sometimes the universe will bring in certain people into your life, and it just causes this triggered reaction for you to finally get moving on your path, to finally get back into alignment. And that's going to make you feel ultimately satisfied with yourself and getting moving. Like this is like progress. Every time there's a page that comes out, it's the beginning signs of progress in a particular direction. But that's why I was saying, if something gets started out of pain, it can end up in pain, because everything that you do put out comes back times 10 or so. And everyone has to learn that lesson. No one is like void of that. There's nobody that gets an exception to that rule, is what I'm trying to say. That's the karma in law of attraction, or what do you want to call it, or the quantum physics even. So it's showing like right here, you might confront some fears, all right? Because there can be like overthinking or a lot of fears coming up to the surface. In general, Cancer, I would almost even say too that this is a bit of a mortification process to break you open. And I do think that's happening, and I think this is going to surprise you. Because this process, you're gonna get a lot of new insights about what has been making you feel stuck. I did that recently. Like I went to a brand new location, very different from my norm, and to try to like break out of particular energy. And that's what courage is. That typical saying, it's not that courage doesn't mean that your fear won't be present. It just means like you'll have the strength to be able to move through the fear. And that's what is going on in your process, is like there's a fear that's built up in you energetically, and now it's causing this flood of emotions to take place, and you'll break out of this. Like there's going to be this dissolving away. And I do think, going back to what I said, you're going to get a very clear picture about like, okay, the thing I love the most about this card is that her eyes are closed, but her third eye is wide open. And that happens when you're navigating in the dark. You your five senses kind of become, and when you're going through this dissolving or trying to come out of pain energy, your own pain body, you will have like a heightened sense of intuition that will come in and overcompensate for your lack of ability to see with your actual eyeballs. And that's really going to develop your intuition, which is this Ace of Cups, right? It's a breaking open of, it's a rebirth of your emotions, and you'll feel it. You know, whenever I've gone to new states or locations, um, when I first get there, this happens every single time. When I first arrive, I don't feel a sense of newness. It's almost like my body is acclimating to the brand new environment and all the integration that's taking place chemically, any kind of catalytic or chemical activations that are taking place with a new geographical location. And then after a little bit of time, I notice that I'm getting these little sparks of new neural net wiring. And it's like it happens later on. Like it doesn't happen immediately when I arrive in a new location. It happens like a little bit further down. And that's what I find really fascinating. So that's kind of what might happen here, is some kind of activation where this will feel at first like you want to get out of it, but it almost feels like this is me getting attention. So some of you guys, this could be about your like this could be for work or a skill you have, or on social media. It's just like receiving attention, but underneath the surface, this is what's really going on. So on top, it's like very well composed and it looks very pretty, but underneath the surface there is so much more going on. But this is like all filtered into like a prettiness or like a well composed, like this is what it looks like, but it's very opposite energy. And yeah, there's something new that's going to come out of this, or there's an energy in here. If this isn't you directly starting up something new and tangible, this could be another person that you're dealing with. But just know that it feels like to me there's some kind of fragmentation, and this process will feel like you want to get out of it. And not to say that you should or shouldn't, but that's the root of this courage, is moving past this internal craziness to get to this. This is like a reward to come into this brand new energy. Does that make sense? So, very fascinating. It's like there's a looking out too. Two of Wands is like there's pieces moving around in this situation like a chessboard, because Two of Wands is kind of like I'm looking out to see what movements take place when this happens, So Two of Wands is like waiting and planning, and it feels like, I mean, just in general, there's probably going to be more to come. Hopefully it will unfold in the extended. So if you guys want to join me over there, feel free. Go down below, click on the Vimeo link, see it over there. But Cancer, if this is where we leave things, sending you so much love. Wishing you all the very best. See you in the next reading. Take care.